I don't have to meet somebody anywhere I don't want to meet them, because at the end of the day, if I don't receive whatever they're giving me, I don't have to. And there's nothing wrong with that.
It's good to do things in groups because they'll hold you accountable.
It's the same with these TikToks and stuff. The money's coming, but it's coming fast. And just as quick as it comes, they spend it. So it'd be interesting to see the world in 30 years.
The best way to do anything, see any kind of group, is you have to take some inventory every once in a while. One of the things I learned is relationships are like dig into them, because that's all we have. Like money don't matter, jobs don't matter. How much weight we lose sometimes don't matter. But this that we have right here with us matters so much.
Come out to play.
I don't know what he did, but when he did that, he really put together that old Marvin Gaye. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Rebranders Podcast.
Yes.
Once again, it's another beautiful Wednesday. If you're right here with Rebranders, you're in the right place. My name is Anthony Goodson. I'm the host of the show tonight. Thank y'all, everybody, for joining us last week. We had a wonderful show. We got an initiative that we're going to try to start pushing out. And unfortunately, we have situations like this, which calls for our initiative. So tonight we have a very special show. But before we get into the show, let's go ahead and let's say hello to our co-host. Let me go down diagonal to me. What's up, Yashika? Is that diagonal?
You meant me. I knew you meant me, baby.
How you
Whether
doing
it's
tonight?
diagonal or not, it's me. I knew it. I just felt it. I felt
as
it.
you do. Anyway, let's go north of her. What's up, Helen? How you doing?
Hey, y'all. Happy to be here. Favorite place to be. Ready to talk some Karmelo Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Last but not least, because he came in last at the very last second, speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Adrian Stinson. What's up, Ace? How you doing?
I'm doing this for Arsenio Hall. What's up, everybody?
Oh.
Let's go to the comments real quick. Corey Rao, what's happening? She got her
Hey,
t-shirt.
Corey girl.
She got her t-shirt. K Hemp, what's up? We told a story about you, K Hemp, aka Georgia Blaze, earlier. What's up, Pops? Tony Goodson. And she said, I am wearing my t-shirt tonight. Oh, she feeling it right now.
All right,
Girl,
now,
send a
Corey.
picture. Send a picture.
Send the picture.
We want to
Send it.
see.
Yes,
Send it to me.
Make
All
sure
right.
you don't look at it with no Google glasses or whatever them is.
They seem to be wrong sometimes. But anyway, y'all, tonight we want to talk about one of the most tragic things that happened, certainly in 2025 in the DFW Metroplex. That's a situation of two young men coming together, and one of the young men actually didn't leave the situation. Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, right here in DFW, Helen, in Frisco, Texas, a little bit more north of Dallas. Very tragic situation happened at a track meet about a week ago. Two young men kind of got into it. It was raining about a week ago. Or was this 2 weeks ago? Whenever it happened.
2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in there.
So it was rain. The situation goes, it was raining. And as the rain came, all the different young people and old went under tents. And as they got under these tents, they were looking for comfort from the rain. Apparently, one young man, and it's easier sometimes to go race, the white boy versus the black boy, but I'm trying not to do that. Austin, which is the white boy, by the way, he noticed that Karmelo, which is the black boy, was under a tent that he wasn't under before. So he gets upset. He says something to him. Austin, by the way, has a twin brother. They both come over there. An altercation breaks out. Apparently, all of this stuff is alleged. Karmelo Anthony said, "Do not touch me again," which means what? He's been touched before. He apparently touched him again. He said, "If you touch me again, you're going to regret it." He touched him again. He goes in his bag, and then he stabs Austin, killing Austin. He runs off. Police comes to get him. He said, "You're allegedly the killer of, or the stabber of Austin." And Karmelo said, "No, there's no alleged. I did it." He said, "Take me in." He goes in. So there's a whole situation. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit more about that. That's the story. Lots of stuff is starting to come out. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We have some lawful stuff they're going to show tonight, but I also wanted to talk about a lot. For example, they want to talk about the knife. Why did he have a knife? We want to talk about bullying a little bit as well. And we also want to talk about why this became a white versus black situation. And I think that's probably the easiest way to start off is why this became a white versus black situation. So I'm just throwing this out there to y'all. If there's ever a situation between two people at work, in the media like this, or whatever the case may be, it could be two people up for an Oscar, whatever. But if one of those people are white and the other one is black, is this automatically a white versus black situation? Before we get to you guys, let's go to the comments. Teresa, what's up, Teresa Nelson? Thank you for joining us again.
Teresa,
she said, I hope it's a good one. Yes, it will be. What's up, Dietrich? How you doing? And Kiki?
Hey, Dietrich. Hey.
And Deborah, number one. What's happening tonight?
Hey, how you doing, Colette?
All right, so I just threw the question out there to the panel, and I want you audience members to answer this too. But anytime there's an opposition between two people, if race has to do with, I mean, if they're two different races, don't have anything to do with it, does it automatically become a black versus white situation?
I would say no. To a point. It doesn't automatically become a black against white, but it's oftentimes vice versa. It's often a white against black. And you think they two different, I mean, that means they being the same. They actually don't. You know, when it's a white versus black, it's different than a black versus white, much, in my opinion, much differently. I think it shouldn't, but it does. It just does. I think that's just America.
And I'll throw this out there too. And Teresa, by the way, she says automatically. So Teresa, I'll pose this question to you as well as Deborah Good. She said, "Hello, Rebranders, Family Feud, Africa." Okay. So okay, now let's take a look at George Floyd. It seemed like the country came together, and the police officer was a white guy. George Floyd was a black guy. He killed him. It was out on TV. No matter what. Now, of course, we all looked in the comments. We all saw some racial stuff. However, I think the country actually came together on this one particular situation. So much so that the police officer ended up getting police time. I mean, jail time. So, I mean, was that a white-black situation?
Yes.
Definitely.
Isn't he out on parole? Is he out now?
No, I don't think so. I'm checking it out.
Yeah, that's definitely that. Oh, go ahead, Helen.
I was gonna say it still was that, because when it came to prosecuting the cops, it wasn't cut and dry when it should have been. That it was recorded. Why are we even going to case? Oh, well, obviously due process, but it was on camera, and it still was a lot of hooping and hollering about how much time he got served. He was justified. He was a cop. His life was in danger. Like, the argument around it was child's play. Y'all saw what happened. If that was a white man, and a black guy.
Yeah. And one other thing that I want us to remember, what they did is after it happened, they did their best. We came together. I think a lot of people came together, but not completely, because they tried to assassinate George Floyd's character. Let's not forget all the things they said. They ran his criminal record. They put all this stuff that he used to do, people that knew him, anything bad or negative, they tried to spew that out, even though people were coming together, which was great, but it wasn't everybody.
I think one of the issues I have is, Helen said it, due process. Due process is always a court of public opinion at first. Now we got to start talking about all the issues before we go to court that this person had. For example, Botham Jean was killed by a white woman, right? Was Rodney King beat by 5 or 6 white cops? See, these situations just automatically seem like a racial situation. Let's go to Teresa. She says race always play a part. Corey Rouse said yes. I agree, sadly. Teresa also says it was still black and white situation.
This is America. It's in the fabric. You got to understand it. And a lot of times people try to say it's not because they feel a certain way, but like America was literally built on racism, and race. And in the George Floyd situation, what shocked me the most is, you read the comments and, they call us usual suspect, coon monkeys, all this kind of stuff, hide behind the keyboard. But I always ask the question, we all met George Floyd being killed. So was it 9 minutes, 26 seconds, something like that? Like, that's when we met George Floyd. How do you have so much hate for him and you met him dying? He didn't do nothing. Like, you didn't see him doing anything. You never seen him do nothing. People like, you met him dying. Where's the hate coming from?
Come on,
he gonna give us one every couple of months or so, and that was his one. So At the end of the show, we're gonna have a rough
He
ride.
said
She
that's
said,
his
yes, it's in
one.
the fabric. That's his one certainly for the day.
We got a quote that one, Ace. That was real good. That's true.
That's definitely.
Absolutely, I like that. You got to put that on a T-shirt.
I
But I
agree.
think that's definitely the fabric. That's what Teresa says. The fabric of America. Ace Dietrich says it's not always about race. About 98.99% of the time, it is. Not that we make it that, but they make it that for us.
Yeah,
Right. I can agree
I
with
agree.
that. And I
No.
just want to say this because it's also kind of just came to me too. I feel like when it comes to addressing racism in America, there's so much fear behind the conversation. And I don't know if it's perceived from the less melanin folk because of the accountability they have to have. But I think at this point, the melanin blessed folk have already shown y'all we've been having this conversation. We not trying to tussle and bustle. We just want y'all to say, damn, you're right.
Yeah.
We do play a part. And let's have a conversation. Ain't nobody trying to break. Who's trying to throw elbows? Y'all, nobody, not for real. But the fact that we want to hide behind just like the fear of the conversation itself, off of what you think somebody might respond to it versus just have the conversation. And if it go the way you think, then keep trying. Keep trying. It's a hard conversation, but we got to get over the fear of the conversation just because of what we think somebody might say due to the accountability we don't want to take for our actions. And it's lack thereof, directly, indirectly. Right? Like if you want to say I got black friends or I always stand up to it, but when you're in a situation where you want to stand up and speak on or stand for, you quiet, you are enabling the behavior that you so-called not enabling.
Come
It's
on.
it's the media.
Helen is so blacker than me.
In this day
She
and
is.
age, it's the media because what happens is
You are.
you remember in the 80s when when George Carlin and them were doing their thing, Eddie Murphy doing their thing, you say racial jokes and you laugh because you know they jokes. Like it's like you'll say a racial joke, but we finna go sit down and eat together and stuff like that. So what happens in this social media age though, whatever powers may be, and people always say, oh, you crazy, it ain't a conspiracy, but they push it. So now it's to the point to where everything is racist because they feed hate all day. They feed hate. So
But
now oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was getting ready to say, when you say they, I have to play devil's advocate. When you say they feed hate, you just cannot be talking about the less melanated people because
No, not them. I wasn't talking about them.
We got to talk about the melanin blessed too.
Yeah, I'm not talking
I
about.
like that, by the way.
Yeah,
Helen.
I wasn't
A lot.
singling them out. When I was saying they,
Yeah,
I was saying
they.
whatever
Yeah.
powers are behind social media. It could be black, white, whatever. But
I
they
understand that, but
feed
what
us hate.
I was getting ready to say is like, because a lot of times the black card get played when it doesn't need to be played,
I know when they
and
mess
so
it
it
up
kind
when
of
you need it.
goes. Uh-huh.
Oh, I say I know. I said they mess it up when it's like when it's real. They're like,
Yeah.
you done played that card too many times.
Yeah, I mean, more times, how many more cards you got?
Well, I tell you what, in a situation like Karmelo Anthony, we're in a situation where two parents potentially lose their kids, right? You got a black parent who may lose her kid to the system and a white parent who lost his kid to death. So we're in a really tough situation. Right now, I think it's a strong time for the community to kind of pull together. I want to move on from this here in just a minute and talk about bullying. But right now, we're in a time where the community should pull together. But instead, we started throwing stones. We started calling each other racist. We started early on in this situation. We said that the N word had been said. I haven't heard that in 2 weeks now. They just kind of washed that out. So no witnesses are actually saying that. So we're hearing all these alleged stories only so we can vilify the boys. Now, let's just say, I'm going to go ahead and be devil's advocate all night long. Let's say the white boys were bullies. Let's say they were bullies. Did they deserve to die for being bullying? Did they deserve to go to jail? Perhaps. Did they deserve to be beat up? Perhaps. Did they deserve suspension from school? Perhaps. Maybe being kicked out of the track meet or whatever. But death itself is strong. So I say that because court opinion, whatever, we have already started villainizing the kids, that both sides of them, which is a horrible situation. Because what does that do, especially in a climate like we're in right now, politically? Right. We are now allowing the Donald Trumps of the world, the MAGA people of the world, to kind of infiltrate the situation and now be a part of this when it just doesn't have to be. And I imagine, I wish we could get Karmelo on, but I imagine if he was on this show, he would say, well, we really didn't have racial issues. He didn't like me because our football team beat their football team. Or he didn't like me because of whatever the case may be, my hair. Maybe it was race. But, I'm pretty sure. But maybe it wasn't. I'm pretty sure he would. But anyway, I think what we need to do is we need to talk a little bit more about bullying. But before we do that, let's go ahead and let's the situation is at hand. At first, they set the bond up for $1 million.
It was two at first.
We're going to talk a little bit more about that, but that was an extremely unreasonable amount. Let's see where Karmelo is right now.
All right. Come on now. Just follow behind us. Just stay close, okay?
Do you have anything that you'd like to say to the victim, to the family of the victim? Why were you armed, sweetheart? Karmelo, why were you armed at school? Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
Excuse me.
That's a robbery. In other words, the taking of the property of another by use of force or violence. He resisted the robbery, which is a felony, and that would morph the whole thing, the killing, into a felony murder situation. If you have a felony murder thing, the people who implemented the underlying felony become responsible for the consequences. For instance, if there is a proprietor, a manager, or an employee in a liquor store, and some people come in to hold up the liquor store, and there's a shootout, and one of the bullets fired by the proprietor, the manager, or an employee miscarries and kills an innocent person on the sidewalk. Well, under the felony murder thing, the employee, manager, or whatever is not charged with the homicide. The people who are charged with the homicide are the ones that started the robbery. So in this case, you have a party that starts the robbery. Two, allegedly, you have a killing that results by the would-be victim of the robbery. So what happens is, under the felony murder theory, the person that's charged with the homicide and the robbery is the survivor. In this case, one of the would-be, should-be co-defendants to the robbery, if that's the way the case is cast.
That's a lot to unpack right there. But also, we wanted to talk a little bit about the bullying piece. Did y'all want to say anything on that we just saw?
Yeah, Judge Joe Brown, he broke it down. I think, and I know some people probably like, what the hell, robbery or whatever. He was taking emotion down. He was going strictly by law. And he was saying from the evidence, just what we know that's been presented, taking someone's property by force, even if they took his bag to throw it or do his phone like that, could technically be considered as a robbery.
You know, the one thing I've learned about this, I think we heard this story. Ace, I believe you're the one who told me about it. I heard this story and instantly I built an opinion. I kind of kicked myself for that. I built an opinion and I threw a young black boy in jail and the white boy was innocent. It don't really matter who's innocent, who's guilty, but I built my opinion way too soon. It's just a lesson in life that sometimes you got to pull back. It's human nature. And I think we all did it. You got to pull back.
Everybody lost. Everybody loses in this situation. It's you know, you got dumb kids on each side. And I say dumb, not just kids being kids on each side. Even if, let's just say somebody was a bully, dumb kid being a bully. Let's say, he wasn't supposed to have a knife, he had it. Dumb kid having the weapon. It's just I'm sorry, immature. Thank you. Politically correct. But everybody loses in this situation, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think the bigger story is not that none of this stuff. The bigger story is the bullying situation.
Right.
But Yashika, we talked about this. Sometimes the kid kills himself.
Most times. A lot of times. The kids, look it up. Look and the suicide rate range is going down. It's at like 10 now. Like a lot of times the kids are killing themselves instead of killing the bully, they kill themselves. So this whole bullying thing, it's been, people have been bullying since the dawn of time. But as we go in this world that we live in, bullying has went to a whole nother level. They have that cyber bullying. They bait. There was this one boy that committed suicide. He was baited by a girl online, and he talked to her all night long, and she asked for like an explicit picture. He sent it, and then as soon as he sent it, they started demanding money from him, or they were going to send the picture everywhere. And instead of doing it, he didn't have any money, so instead of doing anything else, his mama found him that morning.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? So it's just, this bullying has gotten to a whole nother level. So which would you rather have?
Let's go to the comments. Chris Bell said, I will say the media plays a huge role in the narrative as well. They're good. And Tori Wright says, there are no rules in protecting yourself. If that's the case, all parents teach our children to protect themselves, and it's okay until we are protecting ourselves from the other race. I agree with you on that. All right, y'all. So we talked real quickly about that bail, that bond being like $1 million. Ace said it was $2 million.
The whole thing about the $1 million bond is absolutely ridiculous, because under the Fifth Amendment, bonds shall be reasonable, and reasonable has been interpreted for the last 230 years by the U.S. Supreme Court and most appellate courts as meaning simply enough to ensure that a person shows up until the charges are disposed of.
All right, let's go to the comments. Teresa Nelson says, it's hard for me to comment because I don't know the whole story. Was he protecting himself? Did he mean to kill or injure him? Was it as stand your ground? Hey, we'll have to talk about that in just a little bit, Teresa. That's exactly what it was. That's at least what they're saying. Do we want our kids to defend themselves if they were in this situation? It's a lot of things to consider. I 100% agree with you on that. And, based off the laws of the state of Texas, which are very similar to those of Florida, it's a stand your ground state. And apparently that's what the direction that they're going to go. So now it's a whole different racial situation when you're protecting yourself versus Trayvon Martin and the George Zimmerman situation, where somebody aggressively went to go and get you. And Tori Wright says, why is it so hard for people to believe that the two boys were bullies? It is because the other young man was black. Do people still believe that the black people can take pain and suffering more than others? Ooh, that's a strong statement.
That's good.
And back to Chris Bell comment, that answers, and Tori's comment. It's the media. They vilify them. They just like, okay, the clip that we just saw when he was getting out of jail, it said stabbing suspect released from jail. All other media outlets says killer released. He's killer released.
And then even with the reporter, what was the reporter saying? What did you have to say? We got to say something to the family. Why did you do it? The way that she was talking to him. This is a kid.
It's a kid. Right. You got to remember, it's a kid.
Oh my God.
Right.
He's made a comment, and I got to give him credit for his comment. And he said only one kid got stabbed that day. He said the kid didn't go around stabbing all these other people, only the one that was the so-called bully. Of course, I'm not trying to vilify the young kid who got killed, but it is awful funny that they're throwing in the newspaper he was stabbed to death. Now, a lot of people are watching this right now, and I take offense to that. He was stabbed. And he did die from it. I don't know that when you say stabbed to death, you're throwing out something that really
words are powerful, because see, you say stabbed to death, that's but you said it.
Exactly. You're making it look very intentional. But anyway, Michael Anderson says, I don't know the whole story. However, I do believe that if the young man would have just kept his hands to himself, we wouldn't be having this conversation today. Right on. But, I saw a report that he walked out stone-faced. Oh, yeah, I saw that too. How else was he supposed to walk out, laughing and skipping? Ace, I think you said that too. Yeah. All right, y'all, look. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to make a comment about bullying. I have noticed in the past 2 or 3 years, since my social media friends have become teachers more, bullying in schools and the lack thereof of accountability to bullies is asinine. So to Yashika's point, bullying usually leads to way more darker things. And if we just address that, and I think if bully parents started getting penalized, every time I talk to your child, here's $200,000 you got to pay me. Every time I got to write your child for the same thing, here's another $200,000. And at some point, I'm taking your house. At some point, I'm taking your car. At some point, you can be on a crib on the side of the road with your bullying baby, and y'all see how it feels out there. Like,
then you have a lot of kids getting killed by parents.
Right. all this could have been avoided, like Michael Anderson said, if he would have kept his hands to himself. And if we dig deeper into that, why was he even putting his hands on somebody else? If you dig deeper into that, it's probably his parents. And if you dig deeper into that,
Well,
whole history of BS that's not been addressed. And all of a sudden, you want to blame the black kid who had to defend himself. Now look into the black kid. How many times he had to just take that on the chin at school? How many times he had to just walk away, probably having to get his shirt pulled or tugged on, and just had to be the bigger person? Because as black men, you were taught when you go to school, sometimes you got to take that L. You can't win every fight, especially when there are less melanin people involved. You got to take that L. So how many times did he have to stand up and just turn the other cheek before he, you know what, bro? Let me show you. And I told you, don't touch me again. So again, you not respecting boundaries.
Yeah.
Your mama not enforcing boundaries. Your daddy not enforcing boundaries. And when a black kid, unfortunately, he had to be black for the media, shows you what it means to stand on boundaries. Now we got a problem.
Because how many times were he bullied before this time?
A report came out today. Actually said they it was a testimony from a party.
Or if he was bullied,
doesn't know either of the kids. A coach that was there, and he said actually what happened. They did know each other prior. They had a fight at a party previous to this. I'm laying in the. They had a fight at a party previous to this, and that was the situation. So they did know each other.
Well, the coach that didn't know either one of them know a lot of information.
No, I'm saying
that most bullies have parents that are bullies. There's some stuff that's been uncovered about Austin Metcalf's dad.
I saw that.
So I'm not going to go into it because it's all speculation.
Yeah,
right now.
well, they swear everybody else. Yeah, he has an arrest for sexual assault.
It is though.
Speak the truth in love, man. I'm talking to you. And Tori Wright says there is conflicting stories. One said they were on a school property, and one said they were at a city event. Yeah, that's we're gonna talk a little bit more about that. And Joanne Guilford, what's up, Joanne? She said, I tell my students all the time when they pick with someone, somebody has a line in the sand. You never know when they've hit their limit. That's so true.
I agree.
One time, may God rest his soul, Grant Bailey was messing with me. He wasn't bullying me. I was in high school. I think I was a sophomore. And I was sitting in the front. He was sitting behind me. And I got this habit where when my allergies act up, I got to do that. And I even had it back then. I kept telling Grant, you do it again, it's trouble. 3 times I told him. 3rd time, pencil, hand, blood everywhere. I'm sorry. Teacher did nothing. Teacher saw the whole situation.
This is the killer right here.
All right, y'all. Listen, back by popular demand, we normally don't do games 2 weeks in a row, but we don't put your finger down here, Yashika. Thank you. We don't normally we don't normally do the same game 2 weeks in a row.
First time.
But this one is back by popular demand. This is the game we played last week. It was a lot of fun. So I'm going to keep it short this week, although it's a lot of fun. I'm going to bring up the picture. Y'all have to tell me what is being said in this moment. But the pictures, as you already know from last week, are not regular photos. They're kind of AI-generated cartoons. Okay, is everybody ready?
Let's go.
Okay, this is a lot of fun. What's going on in this picture? Audience, you are more than welcome to say. Tell us what is going on in that picture.
Let me see what they're going to say. Well, tell us when we can go ahead and chime in.
You go ahead. Go. You ready? We ready.
Oh, I the pappy.
Pick up! It's my baby boss. He's lying. I'm the father of that baby boss. Boss, I'm that baby's daddy. Any fool can see that baby belongs to me. I want it different. That little rascal belonged to me.
Proud to say, boss, I'm that baby's daddy.
I be the paw, boss. I'm the paw of that there youngin' boss. I'm the pappy.
I guess I could have made that clip a little
Can't
bit.
get right.
Joanne said, I'm the pappy. My sister-in-law, she said, boy, if you don't shut up, that's what's going on in that picture. Right, I'm the pappy. All right, here we go. Here's another one. Everybody should get this. Helen, you should get this. I try to go a little bit younger on this one.
Always say
You
that
should
in
get
another
it. Here we go. What's going on in this picture? What's being said?
Oh, okay, I know this one. About time.
I know the movie. I don't know what's being said.
Audience, we're going to give you about 10 seconds to figure it out. Ace, go ahead and tell them.
I know the movie. I don't know. Is he saying Here Come Debo?
Are you
Yashika,
talking
go ahead and tell him, Yashika.
Miss Parker.
Let's see.
Man, I got mind control over Debo. He be like, shut the fuck up. I be quiet. But when he leave, I be talking again.
Such a classic.
Oh, everybody's
quiet.
getting it. Can't help. I'll be quiet, but when he leave, there you go. Deborah thought the same thing as you. He gonna cry when he get in the car. He gonna cry. That's what. Here come Debo, they say. Okay. All right, we got two more, a couple more. The third one is, y'all stay tuned because the last one is a treat. Here's the next one. This is for you, Yashika.
You smoke crack, don't you?
I don't think you've changed a thing. Go on, jump.
No, I don't want to jump.
Yes, you do. You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
How y'all be knowing these things like this? It is rich.
These are classic scenes. You know the crazy part about it? He's actually in jail now for drugs.
Oh man! I guess he actually did smoke that crack.
Clark was right.
I knew it from Leon. Yes, says Toy. All right, y'all. Here we go. This is a good one. Now, this is a tearjerker. I'm gonna tell you all that now. You ready? Do you know where this is from?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
That's because they play this all the time. Though. That's some reason I know this.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, since everybody and their mama know. Audience, go ahead and tell us what something that I.
Hey, you know what? You ain't got to do nothing, Uncle Phil. Hey, you know, ain't like I'm still 5 years old. You know, ain't like I'm gonna be sitting up every night asking my mom when's Daddy coming home. You know, who needs him? Hey, he wasn't there to teach me how to shoot my first basket, but I learned, didn't I? Hey, I got pretty damn good at it too, didn't I, Uncle Phil? Got through my first day without him, right? I learned how to drive. I learned how to shave. I learned how to fight without him. I had 14 great birthdays without him. He never even sent me a damn card. To hell with him! I ain't need him then, and I don't need him now.
Well,
Nah, you know what, Uncle Phil? I'm gonna get through college without him. I'm gonna get a great job without him. I'm gonna marry me a beautiful honey, and I'm gonna have me a whole bunch of kids. I'm gonna be a better father than he ever was. And I sure as hell don't need him for that, because ain't a damn thing he could ever teach me about how to love my kids. How come he don't want me, man?
All right. Well,
Hey, this was a show to call my daddy.
Was that before puberty?
How come he don't want me? That's right. Fresh Prince when his daddy left. There we go. Why don't he want me? That's good. Very good. Very good.
I'm sorry.
Uncle Phil
Y'all know
and
what?
Will.
I ain't like Ben Vereen since that episode. I can't stand him when I see him now.
R.I.P. Uncle Phil. All right, y'all. We got
Uncle Phil for sure.
Now, I'm going to give y'all a little bit of time on this one. This is my favorite one. Audience, this is for you. In particular, one person. I want you to see this one because this is going to be difficult. None of y'all are going to get this one, but it's a good one. Are y'all ready? Here we go.
Is this from Major Pain? No. What kind of hat is that? What's going on? Is he darker skinned than that?
I'm gonna give the audience a chance to respond. The audience, they know who this one is. Or
the audience know who it is?
Yeah, the audience is gonna know. Here we go.
I think that's where he is. I know who he is. I know he was a William Dern.
No William Dern.
Who?
I do not know him.
Okay.
His shirt not even the same.
I love that. You don't know how much I love that.
I just see it and Tori said, Lord, that's my dad. And then I said oh.
Helen said the shirt's not the same. So if the shirt was the same, you would have gotten it.
He was darker because I know your daddy was
Definitely
I love that. That's the best one. You're right.
That's
Lord, that's
that
my
was the best
daddy.
one.
Can't help. There you go. All right, Georgia Blade. Deborah Goodson said that is too funny. Chris Bell, is that the point? Is that the Pootie Tang shirt? It actually is. Side-eye. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us on that part right there. We're gonna take a real quick break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk a little bit more about Karmelo Anthony and Austin Kemp, and we're gonna see if we can at least bring some harmony to rebrand us. See y'all in about 1 minute.
I just want to send an apology to his family members on the behalf of the black community, on the behalf of our racism, our ignorance, the fact that we're justifying the murder of your son in the name of race. He's a human being. He was a good kid. He was a kid that did deserve to have his life snuffed out by some thug. I say he's a thug because when you kill anybody, you're a thug, right? Any type of murder makes you this thuggish behavior. And it's sad that they don't offer the death penalty and that they don't offer a life. He won't be getting life in prison, they're saying, because of his age, which is sad because he deserves both. Because this boy will never see the light of day. So I refuse to submit to racism. I'm not a racist person. I love white people just as much as I love black people. I'm a preacher. I'm a righteous preacher. So I don't see color because God won't allow me to. So I just apologize to the family that has to bear this on the behalf of a community that accepts and loves violence.
Man, sit your dumb ass down and shut.
Oh,
I forgot what's his name. What's his name? Because I had a message for him.
I don't know who is Martin. I don't know.
No, I forgot.
Cousin. You should know his name.
Nah, because I tell you, I know we all
look similar.
And
That
people
got to be your cousin.
nah, nothing like that. But if you out there, you listening, and somebody showed this video, kill yourself. Not taking it back. Not gonna apologize. Not gonna apologize. Taking it back. Like literally, kill yourself. That's how I feel about it. Like seriously, I hope somebody send him this video. I hope somebody send this to him because I mean it. I refuse. I will not take it back.
Bullying.
I will not apologize. I want to bully him. Like I will. Like I'm sorry, Mr. Goodson. I will whoop his ass. Like all the jokes go away. Like with him, all the jokes go away. Like.
He's serious. All right, let me take it back for a minute. Bonehead says Nero. Yeah, and he isn't apologizing for me. That is the comment I wanted to see right there. Not on behalf of the black community. I bet he voted for Trump. What the hell? Absolutely. Who is this fool? What is that? There you go. That guy full of right on, Ace. So hey, they want him to kill himself too. Not on behalf of the black community, says Teresa. And then right on, Ace again says Nell, and then K Ham Ace.
Listen, y'all.
Because this is my problem right here. First of all, condolences to that family. I don't care if your child's a bully or not. Condolences because you lost a son. But first of all, there's no need for a black community to apologize because something one individual did. Second of all, the black community is not celebrating a death based on race. Like don't Vivaden, you call him a thug and you say your son was a good boy. You don't know neither one of these kids.
Yeah.
So why are you calling one a thug, one a good boy? You don't know who's who or nothing like that. So I just wish you go live and do something to yourself so I can enjoy it.
You want to?
Well, it's a whole lot to uncover. First of all, the black community didn't raise this kid, neither one of them. So we don't have any. The parents may have, they may feel like they should apologize. The parents do. They raised the kid, but I didn't. I never met the kid. I don't have anything there, and it's not a need for him to even say anything at all on my behalf or on our behalf, for that matter. Why in the world is this? And first, and I got a lot to uncover on that piece right there. But he's such a cooning situation. Third thing. We all see race. Everybody sees race. We have to. We're prejudiced. I'm prejudiced. I see a white guy and I base my decisions on how I'm going to speak based off the fact that he's white. We all do it, or white female or black female, or we do it. That's what prejudice is. It's not even a negative thing. It's a defense mechanism that allows us to treat situations in a particular way. That's exactly what it is. We have to see race. The reason why we smell is because our body is telling us what's dangerous and what's not dangerous. So we're kind of prejudiced to different smells. Some are good, so we know they're safe. Some are not, so like gas or smoke or whatever. So I got to do something about it. So I hate it when people say, I don't see race, and then blame it on God. God created different races. He's allowed there to be different races. So it's okay to see race. It's okay to be somewhat prejudiced. I am prejudiced towards my child. So when people say these things, it really annoys me. And when he says that, he's saying that through the extreme ignorance that he has. Helen, I can come to you in just a second. Ace, I'm down. Come on, Ace, talk, sir. Tyrone also says one was a good old boy. He was trying to get in the house. And then Tori said, I have an opinion. I have an opinion like everyone else. Why do we always have to apologize? Chris Bell says it's an unconscious bias. Go ahead.
That's right, Chris.
And I know we're not talking about this specific aspect, but I just feel like I just want to point it out. Y'all know how I feel about religion. And only y'all three really know that journey that I'm going on with religion. Mm-hmm. And what irks me, not the most, but what irks me and what pisses me off actually about that video outside of the coonery of it is you gonna say in the same breath, I'm a righteous preacher. I'm speaking the good Lord's word. That boy deserves life, and I'm disappointed he didn't get it or the death penalty. Yeah. Excuse the fluckety fluck out of me.
Yeah.
Flucking.
Again.
Yeah.
What's the difference of being a preacher and a man of God? That was a preacher that said that. He wasn't a man of God.
And that's why you have to be really careful of what flesh you follow. It's real important that you're careful about who you align yourself with, because people are preachers of Beyonce. They got Church of Beyonce, and people praise Trump as if he is the holy savior. They do that. So you have to be careful who you following, and you have to be careful what you take in, because you never know, who's who. But anyway,
he done came on here and ruined our show. We gonna whoop.
Talking out both sides of his mouth. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Just all kinds of crazy. And the crazy thing, and I think, Anthony, that's what you're getting at. Like, there's so much to unpack with that. There's so much to unpack. And the only community that understands there's a lot to unpack with that?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody else besides the community that understands that is looking at that video, besides for what it's worth.
He better not ever need help. I know that, because.
What I would say was, where were you when all these other injustices were happening? When it was on the other side? Because we've already talked about black against white versus white against black. It's a difference, huge. And so where were you? You got those videos?
He didn't have his social media platform. He wasn't trying to get followers to get monetized back then.
Deborah Goodson says, I hope that he do not have a church that is following him. Tori Wright says, why is it when race is involved, people automatically want to throw religion in it? People do know that the KKK are Christians. Get out of here. Kay Hamp also says, well said, Helen. I had a similar conversation with a neighbor yesterday about pastors and Michael Rich. Oh, Michael Anderson put Project back on there. He says, come on, Yashika. Yeah. I'll say this too. This is a pet peeve of mine. When you're a kid and you live in your house, your mama tells you, don't tell people what's going on outside this house.
That's right. What happened in here?
You don't go outside this house embarrassing people.
I wish you would.
The black community we're like a sorority or fraternity in itself. Some things we can't say, even if he feels like that, that's fine. But some things you don't say publicly, because then people on the other side, and I'm not making this a racial thing when I say this. I'm talking about people who feel the same way he do, maybe in a different race, perhaps. They see this, and what do, y'all?
See, look,
see what he said.
See.
Now all of a sudden his word is about his word hadn't meant anything. Until
just out of nowhere.
Yeah. So that to me is a huge issue that I think we're having to deal with, y'all. It's been a really good show. Let's keep it moving. As y'all know, something is going on every single week that we just absolutely have to keep y'all abreast of. Let's see what's happening this week.
Mr. President, people in India would be welcoming your decision to extradite Tahabur Rana to...
I can't understand a word he said.
If you're
wondering how tough Indian accents are for Trump, he had to get a translator for it. Not for the language, for the accent.
It is evident that how the deep state of United States was involved to regime change. So what is your point of view about the Bangladesh?
And what is the role that the deep state played in the situation in Bangladesh?
I can't believe Doge is going around looking for inefficiencies. Meanwhile, Trump has an English-to-English translator. But if you do have to have a translator for accents, why does the translator also have an accent? Maybe the plan was to have a string of translators with slightly less of an accent until they finally got to something Trump could process. Eventually, it'll just be the word Bangladesh written across the boobs of a swimsuit model. Oh, now I get it.
So people are asking, why did we pick Target when Walmart out of order, McDonald's is out of order, John Deere's out of order, Bank of America's out of order, Amazon is out of order. Right. Is we wanted to go, the African proverb says, if you want to eat an elephant, do one piece at a time. So we picked Target first for several reasons. Number one, Target is headquartered in the same city George Floyd was killed. When George Floyd was killed, Target came out, made an announcement that they're going to invest $2 billion in the black business. $2 billion, drum roll, and it starts December of 2025. When Trump made the announcement January of 2025, they dishonored that commitment because when they made the pledge, it had nothing to do with DEI. Secondly, I am embarrassed, Breakfast Club, to say to you, Negroes spend $12 million a day in Target. And I don't know any black business that amasses that much money in any singular day. Number three, Target is on 27 college campuses and not one HBCU. Number four, outside of the federal government, Target is the largest employer of black people. There are 400,000 black people on payroll and don't honor us. So we're giving that kind of money, that much human capital, and to not honor us, I think is dismally disrespected.
All right.
They definitely felt the effects. I can say that.
And we're starting to see a whole lot of people decide that, Walmart, because we're going to go ahead and boycott Target, then I'll just exclusively go to Walmart. Now, what happens whenever we hit Walmart? So I guess we have a strategy. And of course, this is something we're talking about right here on Rebranders Podcast is what is exactly next? We were calling it RBF 2052. And I guess we got to get on board with everybody else so that we can have something that'll really stick. But I really appreciate that. And Helen, you said you'd already seen it. I haven't. But anyway, that's what's going on right now. And so I think that it's necessary for us to do our part and at least educate people on that piece. Y'all, we're talking about Karmelo Anthony and why it is such a controversial situation racially when two 17-year-old individuals get into a fight, but one being white, one being black, one dies, and all of a sudden it's about race. How is that? Is it the climate? Do y'all think if this was going on during Barack Obama's tenure, or even if this was I'll just say Barack Obama, would this still be the same climate, the same situation?
Oh, yeah. Racism was at its height.
Maybe worse. It may be worse. Because see, I told y'all put him in here and look what his people did.
And this is sorry, you got me to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, baby, it's fine. Go ahead.
I the only silver lining I hope comes from this presidency, and what I'm starting to see is that there's conversations about the racism in America. We get over the uncomfortableness about it. Like it might get a little ugly. I ain't saying everybody's gonna be able to have a nice conversation and want to educate you and want to hear what you know. Everybody's not gonna be that tolerant. And guess what? You should just receive that.
Because the conversation should be warm. It's a warm conversation, hot. It's gonna come to where, because not everybody agrees.
Right.
And you don't want a world where everybody agrees on everything anyway. And so it can be a warm conversation. You just have to be willing to have it.
And I think if we can have it really genuinely as a country, America will be a different, we ain't gonna get there overnight. And I don't know if I'll even get transformation, but I think we will be more progressive and more free than what we've always disillusioned, what the American people have disillusioned themselves. And I just want to admit very wholeheartedly, you can ask people that went to high school with me, I've been saying I was never really proud to be American. I've been knowing what America was about. America ain't never been about equality. America ain't never been about us helping each other out. America's always been about who can get paid the fastest, who can sustain their money, and who can help the next person that got the most money help them get more money. So I'm happy that we in this uncomfortable environment where the people that believe in MAGA love y'all for doing that. Amen. Go for it. Let's stand on that. And when we have these uncomfortable conversations, hold your tat real high. Hold your pat real tight and have these conversations. Don't try to pussy out of it. Sorry, y'all. Oh, my bad.
Oh, you didn't have to my bad. I missed it. Deborah Goodson says, I agree that not every preacher is called by God. Y'all got to know my mama. She's going to bring that back as much as possible.
I know Mrs. Goodson.
Conversation past that, but I give it to you. Chris Wright, says facts. And then Michael Anderson said, I'm with you when you write, Helen. You know, this is the issue I think I have. We as a country, going back 300, 400 years ago, broke away from the British, right? We decided to have our own independence. We come over here. Was the idea all about money? You know, maybe, and don't get me wrong, when you look at it from a biblical standpoint, the world is going to always win, right? God gave us the world. He gave the devil the world. So the world is going to always win. The individuals in the world have to step up and do their own thing. So I understand that eventually we're going to draw towards something, a dictator, this, that. In our case, it's money. And so money seems huge, but I think what's worse is how does race and money have a relationship with each other in America? Of course, we know slavery and free trade, that's going back whenever. But I think when we start breaking those things down and getting to understand, we were talking about this right before the show, the Southern strategy. As long as you can make the least of the worst white person think he's better than the best black person, then you got a great situation. And I think that's the MAGA world that we're living in right now. Chris Bell says, this might be me being dumb, but what was your thoughts on his GoFundMe and what the money was used for?
I'm glad you asked that, Chris. I thought the GoFundMe was a good thing because, again, as you're seeing at the beginning of the show, they hit him with $1 million bail. Like, so, which means it was $2 million for, I guess, million, whatever, but they would have had to have $100,000 to get out of jail. Nobody has, I ain't say nobody, but typically people don't have $100,000 sitting around. And then too, if you look at the history of things that went on, Zimmerman had a GoFundMe, Kyle Rittenhouse had a GoFundMe, the cops that killed George Floyd had a GoFundMe. So it's the same with them. So,
it would be nice if it was the same, but that question is being asked because it's not the same. It's not, and there's a difference, and we know what the difference is. It's not the same because all these other people you just named had the same GoFundMe. No questions were asked.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is, though, and it's not an attack on anybody because I love everybody. I don't even see color. So, but it's just.
I hope we make it back next week.
That's good. That's good.
Wasn't that good?
That was real good.
And that's off the top of the dome. I didn't
do y'all remember in I think it was Rush Hour 4, Chris Rock was running down and he was
Lethal Weapon.
What'd I say? Rush Hour. Lethal Weapon 4. He got the guy. He said you have the right to remain silent, but anything you do, blah blah blah. And he said we will provide the dumbest lawyer for you. Remember that?
Yeah.
Hey, here's Chris. I love the question. I love the fact that you asked that question.
It's a really good question.
But the reality is, and sometimes you're guilty before proven innocent. The law say you're innocent until proven guilty, even though they put you in jail and all that stuff. Right. So if you go into jail and then they give you a untrained right out of college lawyer, right? You really don't have a chance, especially when this other guy has a GoFundMe and he's raised $400,000 or $500,000, and now he can go get Johnny Cochran. So it's just not fair. I think the GoFundMe was necessary. Quite honestly, I think it was necessary on both sides. And we got to have a fair trial. It's going to be a big fight. It's going to be tough. It's going to be racial. It's going to be all kinds of stuff. But I think that GoFundMe is 100% possible because if necessary. Because if I had to go out and pay $300,000-$400,000 for a lawyer, now what you're doing is you're killing the black community all over again. I'm a black man. I got to put my house up for my kid. I got to do all this stuff. It becomes a problem.
And still may not have the money to do it.
Still may not. So Nell Rowland says they also said because of the threats, they may need the money to move. Yeah, they definitely gonna have to move. Chris Wright says the money is used for bills because the father cannot go to work because he is the only provider for the family. Melvin, he says, if we were to come together collectively and do each other as we should, we could reparate ourselves. Just remember, they called Daniel Penny a hero. Just
Who
saying.
that is?
Daniel Penny. Yeah, educate us. I'm not real sure who that is. I just
Come on, man, let us know.
Oh, that's George Nichols' little brother. I'll tell
Daniel
you.
Penny.
Penny Nichols.
Oh, you being funny? Okay.
Now the judge is
Not
being
the time. I'm
threatened.
trying to be educated now.
The judge is
Yeah.
being threatened.
Yeah, I saw that
Wow.
the judge is being threatened. I see these situations like this. That can all be fixed with a AK-47, AR-15. Like, bring me all your threats, but come through with them, and let's see how that turns out for you.
And, no problem about the GoFundMe, but getting a house and maybe a car.
That was false news, Chris. They are actually a well-to-do family.
Yep.
You know,
Well, if they wasn't, even if they wasn't a well-to-do, yes, getting a house and a car, check and check.
yeah,
You know, whatever they're doing with the money, they're doing with it. It's only a problem when it's us.
because you got to think.
We didn't question what's his name that with Floyd or Rittenhouse. What did Rittenhouse do with his money? Did he get a car and a house? I'm sure. Why is it an issue if they're doing it and it's not an issue when other people do it?
Well, you got to think about the other family of
Right.
Austin, the kid that got killed. They got almost $1 million in GoFundMe, right? You got to think. Let's just say they needed help for a funeral. What, $20,000 or something like that for a funeral?
They buy a house, but
what they
we're
do
not
with the
questioning.
other
Nobody brought up
$900,000?
Nobody's brought up that babies because it doesn't matter what they do with the money. If his mama need a trip to Bora Bora for the next 6 months to help her grieve, I say go, girl.
And leave them clothes at home.
Whatever she does with the money is what she does. We can't give the money and then tell people how to spend it.
Michael Anderson said
can we?
Daniel Penny choked the brother on the subway.
Yeah,
in
I
New
remember
York.
him now, Michael. Yeah.
The one who strangled the young black man on the subway, Chris Media. Again, he says. He also says, this is my point about the media. And then, Tyrone, everything is a problem when it's with us. That's true. Of
course.
You know,
That's my
and
brother.
this is a more of a racial
Love you so
question
much.
or a racial comment, too. Think about this Chris Bell and everybody else of other color, non-white. You had, was it Rittenhouse? The little Rittenhouse fella. He goes over 2 states to kill somebody. He didn't go over 2 states to help. Didn't nobody ask for his help. He went over 2 states to kill, I think, 2 people or wound 1 or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
He goes to the president. The president wants to see him. He gets to get GoFundMe. He does all those things. And he came 2 states over. We don't need you. We got this under control. Right? Meanwhile, you got a young black kid running track. It's raining. He's under a tent that don't belong neither to him nor the kid that bullied him. Right. In addition to this, his phone gets broken. Now, these are the facts we hear, and I'm not playing any bias, but my point is, I bet he don't get invited. He protected himself by killing, and we know he didn't kill on purpose. Let's go ahead and start.
He didn't kill on purpose.
All right. So I bet he don't get invited to the White House, and he's gonna get ridiculed about his GoFundMe. The court of public opinion is gonna eat him up. See, these are the issues we have to deal with. And Chris and all the people with no melanin, that's what I'm asking. I mean, and Chris, of course, is a favorite of the show. I wish Kirby was here. But I would like to know how people feel about that and what's the solution behind that. Tyrone Cook says, everything is a problem when it's with us. Eric Russell, what up, Eric? He says the car they already had, and they had a different home to move into a gated community. Melvin says Zimmerman sold the gun he killed Trayvon Martin and got $250,000. Let's be real. This is a society of double standards. Hey, what's his name?
He was signing Skittle packets and making money.
What's his name that got killed in 1955? We talked about it the other day.
I wasn't around.
In Mississippi. Emmett Till got killed.
Oh,
and when Emmett Till got killed, the people who killed him did magazine interviews and got paid for it. That's absolutely right. And finally, y'all, the show is going long. Chris and Tori Wright says, "Child, we don't have to even think about individuals. What about January 6th? They are walking around now mad because they thought Trump was for them and against us. Yeah, Emmett Till. There you go, Mel. Thank you. Rhonda Payne says he may not be safe wherever his family decides to move. He's gonna have to cut his hair, and then he's gonna have to shave his head. So
they're gonna have to make an example out of somebody.
For me, I think they need to go out of the country. Just go. There's other places for a while.
Hey, Yashika, we live in Texas. It's a stand your ground state. So I think they should stand their ground with the people with the threats.
I disagree. Because it's threats, and you can say threats, but people act on that. And you want to keep protecting your baby, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Do whatever. I would anyway. I'm only gonna speak with what.
Yeah,
and get out.
Cool.
Go
All
to
right, y'all.
Hoopla.
It's that time of the day.
Hey, yo, who we got on the show next week?
I appreciate you for asking that.
We got a couple more comments. I agree, Yashika. Chris Wright also says, I didn't see the video. Was the boy surrounded by police and have a bulletproof vest like the white kid that was guilty of murder, killing black people? Great show. Thank you. Yes.
I just want to say before Yashika shine and Ace shines brighter, I just want to say y'all on the YouTube land. Don't hate Yashika.
I don't know about shine.
You're right. Thank you. You
I
told me
see
and
y'all
I'm wrong.
profile pic changes and y'all look real good. I just want to shout y'all out. I see I'm starting to see our fans and I love y'all and y'all look real good. I just want to let y'all know I see y'all. Thank you for showing up.
Absolutely. All right, before we go to this one, I think we got a special one tonight. So Dietrich says, things will not change until people that don't look like us stand up for us. Dietrich, I have been saying this. I love it. And be accountable against their own. The government was built on the backs of blacks and against blacks. We are not over the government or the media. So there's only so much we can do without the help of others. What we have to do, Dietrich, is hit those pockets. Those pockets will change. And we need people to stand up. All right, Yashika, it's on you.
Dietrich is one of my dearest friends, by the way, y'all. He's in Kalamazoo. One of my
What's up,
dearest
Dietrich?
friends.
Kalamazoo.
My dearest friends. I love so much. I just have one thing I needed to say before we go, and it's that with this bullying thing, I just want parents to continue to breathe life into their kids and let them know to come and talk to them. I tell my kids every day, I love you so much. There's nothing you can do that'll make me stop loving you. Tell me. Because for him to take that knife and take it there, he had something in him that he probably didn't want to tell people out of fear or how they were going to make him feel or something. We have, especially our boys that are taught to you can't cry, men don't cry, don't be a punk. You know, they can't show their emotions. Black males mostly can't show their emotions, and talk to your kids. Let them know they can show emotions. That showing emotions don't make you weak, so that maybe you can try to prevent an accident like this from happening again. Okay, talk to your other kids about bullying and not bullying people and being good and kind to people and wanting the best for people. You don't have to deal with them and still want the best for them, but this bullying has to stop, and it has to go on both sides. The ones that's being bullied, we need to talk about it. The ones that's bullying, we need to talk about it.
Absolutely.
We need to talk about it. That's my soapbox. I got small kids, and it's just important because this could happen to my son, and I felt that it could be my baby, you know. So anyway.
Let me get these 3 comments. If we don't stand for something, we will fall for anything. Thank you for that, Corey Rowell. That's absolutely true. As people, we need to be on self-defense. Mama used to say, if they hit you, hit them back. And we've been getting hit for 400 years. I agree with you on that. We are just as guilty as white people if we stay quiet and don't stand up. Right
Corey,
on.
you got to come on the show, Mama. You got to come on the show.
You do. You do.
Chris too. Chris too. Yeah, Chris, y'all got to come on the show, please.
Shika's on you.
Here we go. Y'all ready?
We are.
Got all stand at the end of the show. I'm all serious now. Yes.
Hey, yo, Ace.
What's up, Yashika?
Who we got on the show next week?
I'm glad you asked. We're actually going to be talking to representatives at the new Marion Barry School of Rock. Evidently, people are upset because they actually needed instruments.
Sometimes you got to go look at yourself and go, I'm ready to relinquish this.
I'm one of them people, hey, you got to give a man a day in court.
The underlining of all of it is authenticity, right?
She's making them money, so they going to put the camera on her because she's paid.
I think the prize is the other person. We have not integrated in the United States. Start buying some of the things that we have to offer. Then we will see a difference in how we act as Black people.